guys, it's Sun here with another video. And sorry if it was annoying, it was just school. But this is going to be a new what if. This is going to be what if Naruto was in My Hero Academia. So how this is gonna work is Naruto would be in the pure world sitting with his parents. And then he would then just start glowing as this would be reincarnation taking over. This wouldn't be a reincarnation of power or reincarnation of the soul. It would be a complete reincarnation because how I'm gonna make reincarnation work is that my wish is that it's going to be if a person fully reincarnates, they can reincarnate into any world but their own. If their power reincarnates, then it will stay inside of their own, or the off chance that it'll slip through. And then if their will reincarnates, well, it can just go anywhere, to any world. Yeah. And if their memories, the only way their memories would reincarnate is if, is if they're the same person. So Naruto would be born. Naruto's gonna have two quirks. He's gonna have one quirk called Nine-Tailed Fox, which basically gives him 9 tails, 9 red orangish tails, and 2 ears. Along with being able to draw power from an unknown source. This being 9 tails that would be sealed inside of Naruto. And I choose this picture because they just accept stuff. So you would have the second quirk, Sage's Path, that gives him control over earth, fire, wind, air. Earth, fire, water, wind, and then lightning. So, and then he would also, if he focused energy in his eyes, he would open the Rinnegan, of course, as there was no other place for the power to go. It would just go to Naruto. Naruto would end up being full reincarnation. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm gonna be back. It's just like right as I'm starting to record, I start having a coughing fit. Okay. And Naruto also has control over yin and yang. And then when Naruto opened his eyes, you would basically see the Sage of Six Paths mode in his eyes, and then he would get 10 orbs that form around him, and then a staff, and then the staff just turns into another orb. See, this is the second youngest child to awaken their quirk, I believe, other than the baby that had light spewing out of it. Give me a minute. I don't know why I started having coughing fits, but okay, I'm gonna get this over. So, okay. And so, going a bit towards canon, Naruto around the age of 3, his parents would be killed in a villain attack. So, Naruto would not have parents in this world either. I'm sad to say Naruto would get put in an orphanage, and then he would go into, I guess, like the school that Bakugo and Izuku went to when they were 4, I believe. But Naruto would not be safe. He would actually be well, he would be sympathized with because he doesn't have parents and nobody knows he has a tailed beast that destroyed, and plus there wasn't even an incident with tailed beast, so yeah. And Naruto would be the youngest person in that place with that court. And yeah. So Naruto would talk to Kurama a lot. Like, because he knows who Kurama is, because he passes memories from his previous life and previous life, which would be the previous life would have been Ashura, and then the previous life would have been Naruto. And Naruto's name in this for ease is Naruto. So basically, Naruto is more just a bystander. The whole thing with Bakugo and Izuku, because he doesn't really care. He doesn't have feelings. And so Naruto and okay, I can't think. Okay, so we're going to basically skip around the point when they would be in middle school. And the teacher, so we're gonna skip to the point where they would be in middle school and Naruto would have exceptional control over his quirk. And Naruto would be lazy. And I mean lazy, he would basically pick up on Kurama, as Kurama's the only person who really has to raise him in. We're going to have a lazy humanoid fox, kinda, and then a lazy fox. Yeah. So Naruto would have got up late and just decided to hop on basically a board of truth seeking, or so just flying over to the school. As Naruto would have had a house provided by he would have had a house that, because he would have did some jobs, got some money, and had a house. And so Naruto would be flying around and he would run into that same villain attack. And the villain starts trying to swat him as Naruto was taking a nap. He was just sleeping. And when this woke him up, Naruto was mad. Also with Kurama, because this woke up Kurama. Naruto, then an immense power would start coming off of Naruto. Naruto would get covered in this golden aura, going into the KCM2 and slapping the dude, like, a lot, with giant chakra hands. And then just go off since he's awake now. Well, and then he would disable his chakra mode, not being able to really be followed because he's not leaving a yellow trail anymore from his chakra mode, and just going off to do his own thing. And yeah. So when they go into the middle school and the teacher says that Bakugo wants to go to UA, I'm also going to give Deku a quirk in this one. Control of water, because if you watch My Hero Academia, which you should have watched My Hero Academia before watching this one, and watched Naruto, you would know Deku cries excessive tears. So I'm just going to give him control over water. So that's like you can just control any water. But Naruto can also do that. So, okay, so then he would say Naruto also wants to go to UA, which wouldn't shock anybody. Naruto always wanted to, well, find the people who, well, killed his parents and needed to, one, well, find out why, two, he wanted to, well, also protect people from going through the same thing that he did, looking without parents twice. Reincarnation. So, Naruto. So they would all be wondering how Naruto would have to be friends with Izuku. And Bakugo doesn't really bully Izuku because Izuku's quirk just awakened like a year late. And so they would basically be the successful trio. The people who would definitely end up being in the top 3 heroes. No doubt. If they correct training to be a hero, they could end up being in the top. They could end up being like the top 3 heroes. Naruto undoubtedly going to be the first, and then it would have been a race for Izuku and Bakugo to try to get second before one of them could get there. Basically, then they had. Basically, it was Izuku and Bakugo having a rivalry, trying to train up so they could be the second, so they can be the number 2 hero, because they know that Naruto is going to be the number 1 hero. And Naruto's hair. Naruto's hair is basically, think of Minato's hair, yeah. Basically that, but, okay, I looked up, like, what would be Naruto with a mixture of Minato's hair, and this is what I found, and that would basically be Naruto's hair. So, okay. So, they would go off, and Naruto would be talking with Izuku, and Naruto would have the 9 tails around him. And he would also have the 10 orbs. The staff would be another orb, but really he had the... So, okay. When the sludge monster would go for Naruto because he looked like the strongest one out of the 2. He looked like that he had the stronger quirk. Naruto would just be like, nope, and a bunch of wood would just start sporadically going around and just picking up the sludge villain, just basically swinging him off of Naruto, and putting him in, as a Naruto would basically have a truth-seeking orb, then just spread out and kind of open up, and then, yeah, the truth-seeking orb would then, okay, the truth-seeking orb would then kind of open and putting the switch inside it. Then, what's his name again? I forgot his name. All Might. Okay, All Might would then see this and then basically come out of where All Might was, and that's where the sludge will go. Naruto would then basically open the top of the truth-taking orb just a little bit, and just say here, pointing at the orb. And so All Might would then say, do you want anything for helping capture this villain? And he would then ask if he could give his friend his autograph, because Deku is still a hero fanboy. That will not change. And so they would go to the police station, turning in basically sludge villain and putting him in a bottle from the truth-taking orb. And then they would go. So the sludge villain thing would possibly would never happen. And then so All Might would then see, All Might would still have, so since Deku is not quirkless and Deku has a quirk and Naruto also has a quirk, he would he would ultimately go with choosing Mirio for one for on training up Mirio, as that would have been the last day of school for them. They would have went and applied to, I think it was like the 10-week training thingy that they did. I just don't think it was 10 months. I don't remember, but yeah. So they would go and train. He would have a house, and Naruto would actually live in mountains. And like mountains like behind the city, because Naruto can just fly. So it's not really a problem for him. If anything, just do like a large Kurama jump, I guess. Or just go into KCM2 and then just run. Yeah, that would be pretty fast. So Naruto would end up going to the beach because he needed to also train his physical strength, because he wasn't really built the same way as in Naruto. So he needed to really train his body mainly to use KCM. He would run into All Might training another. Okay, wait, let me search something. Okay, yes, you would see All Might training Mirio, and All Might would then say hello to Naruto, and see. So he would then see him training another blonde hair, and he would ask All Might if he could also train him a bit, because he can't use his quirk to its fullest extent at this point. And Naruto would basically quickly go on KCM2, and he would be in it for like a minute and have to get out. And he would tell All Might that going into that puts too much strain on his body, as he isn't built right for that power. But the power, and Naruto focuses power into his eyes, and then they change to purple, and then they quickly fade back to what would be the 6-fast Sage Mode eyes. As Naruto can't handle the Rinnegan at his strength, and he would ask All Might if he could train his body a bit so he can wield his quirk to its fullest extent. And All Might would say sure, but because they wouldn't really be talking really much about One for All in the training. So Naruto would be training, and he would get more of a physical grasp, being able to have his Rinnegan out for more than 10 minutes, and being able to use KCM for an hour. Well, not KCM, KCM2 for an hour. KCM 1 would be really half a day, because that doesn't put as much strain as KCM 2, I would guess. So then it would be the UA entrance exams. Naruto would be pretty much late to it, like always. He wouldn't really be late, but he would be late to waking up, so he would basically just rush out the window and onto a true seeking orb, taking a little nap on the true seeking orb while flying to the, yeah. And then this would actually be Naruto tripping, but not tripping, more of falling off the orb. No, Naruto wouldn't be on an orb, he would just be hovering. And Naruto would have just been kind of hovering, kind of just mid-sleep hovering, and then he would then just fell, but he didn't make contact with the ground, as he would then open his eyes, being still half asleep, and see Uraraka using her quirk on him, and he would then just say thank you, and then would go off, continue to hovering, and so they would all go and they would do the written test. Naruto would do great on the written test, and then they would do the physical test thingy with the robots. Yeah, that thingy. They would do that, and it would be Naruto and Izuku would be in the same testing area, and with Bakugo in another. And immediately, Naruto would then just use his true seeking orbs and create he would have basically the true seeking orbs stabbing through pretty much every robot. Oh no. So Naruto would have been going around covering. He would have basically had one sword covered in water, another sword covered in wind, because wind can cut through a lot, and water is, it's water against electrical stuff. Yeah. And Deku would be pretty good. And Naruto would be racking up points quickly. And then, when it came to the 0-pointer, Naruto would then just say, well, it's time to show off a bit. Naruto would decide to show off. And Naruto would then, all the truth seeking orbs would then form into basically a giant sword, and Naruto would then just okay. Naruto would then the truth seeking orb swords that he had would then just go back to truth seeking orbs, and Naruto then just says 5-element dragon, and then really. So basically from out of the sky you would see a dragon made of wind, a dragon made of fire, a dragon made of water, a dragon made of lightning, a dragon made of earth, all coming from basically the sky, and just destroying the robot, as basically they would come from 5 different areas destroying the robot. And yeah. Naruto's showing off, but that still isn't his most powerful attack. We all know what his most powerful attack is. Tailed Beast Bomb. His most powerful attack would be Tailed Beast Bomb, obviously. So, Naruto would then, well, yeah. And Naruto would have designed a hero costume. It would have been basically the Sage of Six Paths robes. With the, like this thing on the back. And then he would have, like, the tumult, he would have, like, those, like, comma things, like, going around, yeah, you know what I mean, the robes that Sage of Six Paths wore, yeah. Naruto would have those, and so, yeah, I'm gonna make this, like, 40 minutes, okay. So, Naruto decides to, go and go get some more points after freeing Uraraka. And Naruto would then just go flying off. He would then just go into KCM and start just flashing everywhere, knowing that there was little time. He would start flashing basically all around the city. It's KCM. People would just see a yellow flash as Naruto hitting a robot. Naruto would have went around and would have been trying to find robots and would have found one at the last second. Naruto would have been able to shove basically a large truth-seeking orb sword thing through the robot, and then it ended. Naruto would have the most points. Then it would be Deku and then Bakugo. So then they would all get placed in Class 1A. No, Mineta. Yay. They don't like Mineta, and Mineta's getting replaced with Naruto. Haha. I don't think anyone likes Mineta. If they do, then they're just weird. But, okay. So when Naruto goes to class, when it's time for the school to start, Naruto wakes up late again and basically goes off to the school, and he basically is in front of the window, is in front of the Class 1A window, seeing the large door, and then he would have signaled for Izuku to open the window, because this was a common occurrence that would happen. Basically, Naruto would wake up late, and before the teacher could get in, Izuku would have to open the window and allow Naruto to get in. As they were doing this, Aizawa would have kind of just slithered in his sleeping bag and see Naruto and when he sees us, he just quickly sits down. And, yeah. So when they go to do the physical exam thingy, Naruto then when they go to do the physical exam, Naruto does the 50-meter dash thing and quicker than Ida, because yes, your speed is basically teleportation speed. So Naruto with them. So when it came to the ball throw, Naruto would then cover the ball in a giant truth-seeking orb, and then tell everybody step back, as then Naruto would start glowing, as then he would go into KCM 2, and then a giant fox, basically a giant 9-tailed fox would appear, made of this orange aura, and basically and then Naruto would throw it, already being pretty high up, and then the true second orbs would then just come back, and yeah, it would go high up. He would have the second highest score. I mean, Bakugo would get a little higher, and Deku would get higher than Bakugo, so you can use water and all the water in the atmosphere and everything to just keep pushing it up. And then Uraraka got infinity because, well, zero gravity. And nobody can beat infinity. So they would end up going. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave it off today. 3-minute video. I'm gonna go upload this now. Probably gonna make a new video soon. Very soon. Maybe a Minecraft video. I don't know.